I mean, I literally cannot stop laughing when I close my eyes and just picture the sheer lack of athletic coordination.
It's honestly so bad.
We are talking about a former United States Navy rescue swimmer, like a guy who played semi-pro rugby down in New Zealand.
Right.
A guy who, he does not even blink when there is $1,000 on the river at the poker table. And yet, he steps up to the lawn games at the combine and scores 20 points.
I know, yeah.
20 points out of a possible 400.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even mathematically achieve that without actively trying to lose?
Okay, you need to, take a deep breath before you completely hyperventilate and pass out on the microphone.
I'm trying. 20 points.
Let's just cut through the hysteria for a second and officially welcome you, the listener, to your customized blueprint for survival. Welcome to the HK Backyard Bowl 2.
Yes, welcome.
We have basically fed your league's ridiculous bylaws, all the combine statistics, and the absolute latest NFL training camp reports directly into our system.
All the data.
Exactly. And our mission today, to give you the exact strategy you need to avoid finishing in 12th place. Because, while some people are apparently struggling with basic hand-eye coordination in the backyard, the clock is actually ticking and the panic is very, very real.
Oh, the panic is palpable.
We are staring directly at the online snake draft, which is rapidly approaching this Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, at 7:30 p.m. Hawaii time.
And look, the panic is completely justified. As you sit there, mapping out your draft strategy, remember the actual stakes here. You are playing for a $300 buy-in.
Yep, big money.
$200 of that goes to the prize pool, and $100 funds the epic combine party. So you are playing for, ultimate bragging rights in this 12-team local league.
But more importantly.
But most importantly, yes, you are playing to avoid the ultimate dread. Let's remind everyone of the golden rule here. If you finish in 12th place, you are contractually obligated to plan, host, and personally fund next year's draft order combine party entirely out of your own pocket.
Exactly. And literally nobody wants to be the humiliated party planner holding the receipt for 3 kegs and a massive catering spread.
Truly a nightmare scenario.
So, as you prepare your draft board, let's analyze the absolute chaos that was the draft order combine on Saturday, August 8th, 2026. Because the math and the madness were just in full effect, and how your league mates performed tells us exactly how they are going to draft on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. It's totally connected.
Let's start with the champion, Mikey of Mikey's monstrous team.
The Niners fan.
Right. The San Francisco fan wins the combine outright, just absolute domination. He posts an incredible 143 points.
I crushed it.
He earns the right to choose absolutely any draft slot on the board, and he voluntarily chooses pick number 12.
Okay, wait, look. I am going to aggressively defend this macro strategy, and you should be paying attention to this if you end up at the back of the draft.
Defend it? Are you serious?
Yes. Because the general public looks at pick number 12 and thinks Mikey completely lost his mind. But mathematically, the back-to-back turn at pick number 12 and pick number 13 is a massive structural advantage in a snake draft.
Here we go with the math.
Let me explain the mechanism here. When you pick at the turn, you completely dictate the positional runs. If you take 2 elite Tier 1 wide receivers back-to-back, you instantly create a psychological scarcity panic for the next 10 managers.
Oh my gosh.
You force them to overdraft mediocre receivers while the elite running backs just fall right into your lap in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I mean, it is advanced draft theory.
This is exactly where you data nerds completely lose the plot.
I'm just looking at the numbers.
You can talk about advanced draft theory and psychological scarcity all you want, but I am giving you and our listener a brutal reality check right now. Mikey is an industrial real estate expert. He has spent 12 years navigating high-stakes properties, yet he just had his pick of any premium property in the entire neighborhood, and he willingly chose to buy the absolute worst house at the dead end of the block.
That's an exaggeration.
No, think about the mechanics of pick number 12. You get 2 quick picks, and then you are waiting 22 agonizing picks before you get to draft again.
Well, yeah, the wait is tough.
By the time the board comes back to you in the 3rd round, the entire Tier 2 landscape is an unpredictable wasteland. He completely outsmarted himself.
I vehemently disagree, but, Sunday will reveal the truth. Because on the complete opposite end of the strategic spectrum, we have the commissioner, Keoni of Sons of Lombardi.
Oh, poor Keoni.
He scores 134 points, finishes 2nd in the combine, grabs pick number 1, and is now reportedly having a full-blown existential crisis about it. Like, he is sweating bullets.
As he absolutely should be. The pressure of pick number 1 is completely suffocating.
Should heavy the crown. Right.
You are basically drafting with a massive target on your back. If the consensus overall top player gets injured or underperforms, your entire season collapses because you don't pick again until round 2.
Yeah, that turn is brutal.
And let's be honest, as you look at Keoni as competition, remember he finished in 7th place last year in his own league. Changing his team name to sound like a tough motorcycle gang is not going to fix his fundamentally flawed draft board.
Sons of Lombardi is a great name, though.
Please. He's so terrified of making the wrong choice at number 1 that he is probably going to panic draft a Green Bay Packer like 3 rounds too early.
Hey, wait. You need to respect the Green Bay upside. We're building a dynasty over there.
You're delusional.
But seriously, if Keoni is stressed about the number 1 overall pick, imagine being Matt of Bear Down. I mean, this is the ultimate humiliation for a Chicago Bears fan.
Oh, this story's legendary.
The man misses the combine entirely because of a work conflict. So his wife, Kelly, subs in for him. She steps up to the golf chipping competition and puts up a legendary goose egg. Just 0 points. Nothing but air and bad turf.
And yet this is the most incredible part of the whole thing. Despite scoring exactly 0 points in golf, Kelly still secures pick number 11 for him with 80 points total across the rest of the combine.
I am floating the idea right now, officially, that Kelly should just be the general manager of that franchise.
Honestly, she should.
If you can secure pick number 11 with a mathematical 0 in one of the primary events, you clearly possess the clutch gene. Matt needs to just hand her the laptop and let her run the draft board on Sunday.
She honestly couldn't do any worse than he usually does.
Hey.
But speaking of doing worse, we really have to talk about the absolute height of fantasy football hubris, Wade of our year.
Oh, Wade. The machine.
Wade decides that human intuition is dead, so he uses literal artificial intelligence agents and advanced algorithmic robots to determine his optimal draft slot. And after crunching all the numbers, the robots tell him to take pick number 6.
The machines have spoken. According to the sacred algorithms, pick number 6 is the golden ratio of the 2026 draft class.
Right, whatever that means.
I mean, think about what an algorithmic robot is actually crunching there. It is looking at historical hit rates, predicting exactly where the positional tier drop-offs happen, and calculating the highest probability of drafting a balanced roster.
Or the AI robots have a massive blind spot called human context. You can't quantify context.
Exactly. Algorithms only look at median projections. They do not account for the chaotic reality of the National Football League. Honestly, relying on a computer to give you perfect results is as eternally foolishly optimistic as us Dallas Cowboys fans claiming it is our year every single August.
Okay, the self-burn there is highly appreciated. It's true. The AI is a false prophet.
Okay.
And then you have Samoa of Turn Off the Lights, who took pick number 5.
Right.
He is contractually obligated to love anything and everything named Raiders because of his Kahuku Red Raiders connections.
Yeah.
But listener, the most dire situation emerging from the combine, I am officially issuing a massive warning for your draft board radar.
Uh-oh.
Nainoa of Tighten Up is officially on party planning watch.
Oh man, the trajectory is looking incredibly grim for him.
He finished in 12th place last year. He showed up to the combine this year to, redeem himself, scored a miserable 58 points, finished 11th overall in the backyard, and took pick number 10.
Oof.
He is staring directly down the barrel of planning next year's party unless he completely revamps his draft strategy by this Sunday.
Which is exactly why we are here to provide that strategy. Because that complete lack of situational awareness is exactly what Wade is trying to avoid by using the AI bots.
Right.
But as you just pointed out, algorithms are completely blind to human context and, coaching whims. If you think relying on a robot or relying on your spouse is a risky draft strategy, wait until you see the absolute traps waiting in the NFL training camps right now.
Seriously.
As you build your roster, you need to understand the mechanics of these depth charts perfectly if you want to avoid the ultimate dread.
Exactly. So what does this actually mean for your draft board? Let's talk about the murky running back committees that look like great values on paper, but are actually massive tracks, starting with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I know people are terrified of Sean Payton's unpredictable coaching committees, but I am totally geeking out on R.J. Harvey right now.
Oh, boy.
Hear me out. If you look at the macro data from last season, Harvey quadrupled J.K. Dobbins' target share out of the backfield. We are talking 58 targets to 14.
Okay.
In any kind of point per reception format where you get rewarded for catches, Harvey is the pass-catching engine of that offense whenever they fall behind in games.
I'm going to stop you right there with some brutal logic, because I do not want our listener falling for this. Drafting R.J. Harvey based on those receiving metrics is like buying a Ferrari but only being allowed to drive it in empty parking lots.
That's a bit harsh.
It's the truth. Yes, the target share looks shiny, but let's explain the actual mechanism of this backfield. What happens when the incredibly injury-prone J.K. Dobbins inevitably goes down?
Harvey gets the volume.
You would naturally think Harvey becomes a three-down workhorse. Right. Wrong. The Broncos specifically drafted the 220-pound rookie Jonah Coleman.
Oh, the bruiser.
Yes. Jonah Coleman is the heavy-duty truck they're going to use to actually haul the football into the end zone. If Dobbins misses time, Coleman steps right in and takes absolutely all the early down grinder work and the highly valuable goal line touches.
Okay, so
Harvey just gets stranded as a specialized satellite back who catches passes on third down but never actually scores touchdowns. You are buying a trap.
Okay, that is a completely fair point regarding the touchdown upside. You need players who actually cross the goal line. But what about the Minnesota Vikings? This situation is fascinating.
It's a mess.
You have Aaron Jones turning 32 years old, coming off a career-low 4.2 yards per carry. Because of that age cliff, everyone is pivoting their draft capital to Jordan Mason, who averaged a highly efficient 4.8 yards per carry last season.
Yeah, that efficiency is deceiving.
Plus, you have Kyler Murray upgrading the quarterback position in Minnesota. That offense is going to move the chains, and Mason looks like the high-value backup.
It is a massive headache, and you need to let your league mates draft that headache. Do not fall for Jordan Mason's 4.8 yards per carry.
Why not? The numbers back it up.
Because you have to understand game scripts. Jordan Mason is a complete zero in the receiving game. He had only 30 targets in 28 entire games.
Oh, yeah, he's an early down guy.
Think about the mechanics of an actual NFL game. If the Vikings fall behind by 10 points, Mason comes off the field. If they are running a hurried 2-minute drill before halftime, Mason comes off the field.
Sure.
You are drafting a guy and praying for a random goal line plunge every single week while Aaron Jones still siphons away the high-value passing downs. Even with Kyler Murray stabilizing the offense, you must avoid it. And while we are confidently crossing entire teams off your draft board, I need you to completely fade the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that entire organizational situation is just an absolute mess right now.
Chuba Hubbard is wildly insecure as the starter, and Jonathan Brooks is actively rehabbing a torn ACL. Just let someone else in the league burn a mid-round pick on that nightmare.
Let them step on that landmine. But here is the critical thing you need to remember for Sunday. You can try to predict bad coaching committees, and you can map out these depth charts all day long, but you cannot predict the fragility of the human body. Injuries instantly rewrite the algorithm, and injuries are actively blowing up the average draft positions, or ADP, across the league this week. Let's look at the immediate training camp fallout, specifically the massive shift in the Cleveland Browns backfield.
This is monumental news for your draft board. Jerome Ford of the Cleveland Browns is officially heading to the injured reserve list with a severe hamstring injury.
Right.
It completely shakes up the depth chart.
Right. Now, a lot of casual drafters are going to see that injury and completely avoid the backfield because it looks murky. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, this completely clears the runway for the remaining established pass catchers in Cleveland.
Exactly.
With Ford out of the picture, Rachaad White is primed to be an absolute point-per-reception monster, while the rookie Kaytron Allen becomes a really vital late-round stash. This is where you capitalize on the chaos.
It is all about anticipating the cascading effects of injuries, and we have a major league-altering one happening right now at the tight end position. Sam Laporta is dealing with a serious hip injury, and his status for Week 1 is in total jeopardy.
Oh, this is huge, which means it is officially time for the late-round tight end pivot. And I am violently pounding the table for this one.
Oh, I know where this is going.
You need to target Tucker Kraft. The Green Bay Packers offense is going to be an electric juggernaut this year.
Unbelievable.
Kraft is officially coming off the PUP list, meaning the physically unable to perform list. He is finally cleared physically. He is going to play Week 1, and he has legitimate league-winning upside at a massive discount.
Oh, here we go. The absurd Green Bay homerism jumps out yet again. Look, I get it. You love your Packers.
It's just good drafting.
But let me offer our listener a counter strategy that isn't completely blinded by green and bold face paint. target Harold Fannin Jr. of the Cleveland Browns.
Wait, coming off the surgery?
Yes, he is recovering from off-season groin surgery, which sounds scary, but he is medically expected to be a full go for the start of the regular season. He is stepping into a highly lucrative, heavily targeted role in that offense, and you can draft him rounds later than where Laporta was going.
Okay. Fannin is a fundamentally solid pivot. I will give you that.
Thank you.
But speaking of massive discounts and draft capital, we absolutely have to talk about the wide receiver ADP traps that are swallowing uninformed drafters whole right now. We have to outline the major fades.
I will gladly lead the charge on this passionate rant. Do not, under any circumstances, draft Malik Neighbors at an average draft position of 19.2.
It's way too high.
Doing that is absolute organizational malpractice for your fantasy team. Think about what an ADP of 19.2 actually means. It means you are spending a premium mid-second round pick on him.
Yeah.
He just had his very first live drill since his ACL tear, and the camp report said he looked incredibly rusty. You cannot spend a second-round pick on a player who does not even have a concrete target date to return to full contact football. It is a massive trap.
So risky.
Your second-round pick needs to be a guaranteed producer, not a medical experiment. Let Mikey or Keoni take that risk.
I am piling right on that logic with A.J. Brown. Look, the physical talent of the player is completely undeniable.
Sure.
But he was traded to the New England Patriots, and the daily training camp reports are glaring red flags. He is actively struggling to connect with rookie quarterback Drake May on deep balls.
That chemistry is just not there.
Think about the underlying mechanism here. When you draft A.J. Brown in the early rounds, you are specifically paying for explosive downfield passing plays. If the rookie quarterback simply cannot deliver the football accurately when the pocket collapses under pressure, Brown's statistical ceiling completely evaporates.
Exactly. And if you want a genuinely bizarre receiver room to just sit back and laugh at, look no further than the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, what a mess.
It is a complete fantasy wasteland. You have Daniel Jones throwing the football. His wide receiver 1 is Alec Pierce. His wide receiver 2 is Josh Downs. And his wide receiver 3 is the aging Keenan Allen.
That is just gross.
Right. Good luck trying to use advanced math to figure out which one of them manages to catch a random touchdown on a Sunday. Just fade the entire passing attack and save yourself the weekly migraine.
Okay, but we cannot just sit here and tell you who to avoid all day. If we're going to help you avoid the ultimate dread, we have to bring actual, actionable value to your roster.
Let's give them some targets.
So, as you look at the late rounds of your draft board, here are two golden sleepers who are absolutely tearing up training camp right now and flying totally under the radar. First, Devon Stribling in San Francisco.
This one is genuinely fascinating because the entire fantasy community just assumes the 49ers passing game runs exclusively through their expensive established stars.
Yeah, but that's not what camp is showing.
Right. If you read the local beat reporter notes, Stribling is out there actively chipping away at Deebo Samuel's target share with the first-team offense. He is building real, undeniable rapport with the quarterback.
Time.
As a late-round flyer, he provides massive contingent upside in a high-powered offense. If a starter tweaks a hamstring, Stribling instantly becomes a weekly starter for your fantasy team.
And second, Adonai Mitchell with the New York Jets.
Oh, love this one.
The guy is flashing brilliantly on tape. He has already established himself as the clear, undeniable wide receiver 2 in that offensive hierarchy. While all your league mates are fighting to overdraft the big-name early-round receivers, you can quietly stash Mitchell in the double-digit rounds and watch him return massive weekly flex value all season long.
These are the exact margins where championships are won and, more importantly, where 12th place is avoided. You find the late-round values, you actively sidestep the injury traps in the early rounds, and you build a robust, mathematically sound roster.
Which brings us full circle right back to you, the listener.
You are now officially armed with elite, actionable intelligence. You know exactly which murky satellite backfields to fade. You know exactly which injured tight ends to pivot away from.
Even if it's not a Packer.
And you know the exact mechanism of why drafting Malik Neighbors at an ADP of 19.2 is a season-ending mistake.
Which means, as you log into the platform this weekend, you have absolutely zero excuses for ending up in 12th place. None.
Seriously, none.
If you finish dead last this season and you have to plan, host, and pay for next year's combine party out of your own pocket, you only have your own draft board to blame.
The countdown is officially on. The panic is setting in across the league. The online snake draft is this Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, at exactly 7:30 p.m. Hawaii time.
The $300 stakes have never been higher, and the stress is absolutely palpable.
But as you finalize your strategy, I want to leave you with one final lingering thought to really get inside the heads of the veteran owners.
Okay, let's hear it.
We have spent this entire deep dive analyzing average draft positions, laughing at AI robots, and debating the mathematical mechanisms of turn strategies. But you have to ask yourself, what happens if Thomas, the poker-playing rookie who scored a humiliating 20 points out of 400 at the Combine, is actually hustling everyone?
Oh man, the ultimate long con.
Think about it. The guy does not blink with $1,000 on the line. What if he was purposefully bluffing in the backyard just to lower expectations?
Just completely tanking on purpose.
What if his absolute so-called beginner's luck just systematically dismantles the entire draft board on Sunday, while the so-called veterans completely outsmart themselves with flawed algorithms, panic-drafted Packers, and overcomplicated math?
That would be the absolute ultimate nightmare for this entire league.
Good luck on Sunday, everyone. Trust your board, fade the traps, and whatever you do, do not finish in 12th place. You are definitely going to need it.